Coming to you live from Emeridia, this is Optimal Play, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to play another game of Ashes Ascendancy, the solo mode against the Dragonborn. I will keep the upfront quick, because I did do one previous video of this where I played with the Astral Magic deck, and this time I'll be playing with the Artifice deck, so showing off the other starter deck, hopefully having just as much success. Wow, as a helicopter flies by overhead. I don't know how much that picked up on the mic, but it's loud here. I'm still recording shortly after Christmas, so I know that this was going up in January sometime, but belated happy holidays. We had some friends over for Christmas dinner. We just stayed home, didn't do family travel for the holidays. We prefer to do that other times of the year when it's not so crazy. And we were looking for something that was like fun, but not like, you know, mashed potatoes and gravy, and it was just sort of not that like holiday traditional. And we ended up doing a KBBQ at home. I bought a bunch of sliced meats. I went overboard, as I always do, especially over the holidays, and I did fried rice and noodles and cucumber salad and gyoza and a bean sprout salad. Like, tried to have the table just full of sides like at a KBBQ restaurant. And then we had a tabletop grill and grill at home. It was awesome. So highly recommend it if you want. I mean, you need to, like, the grill isn't something you'll just have. You probably need to buy that, but it's not that expensive for like a tabletop grill. You just plug into the wall with an extension cord and go to an Asian market, buy sliced meats. It was great. It was a super fun kind of activity of a dinner for Christmas dinner, and very different than any of us had done before. So anyway, big recommend. And I also recommend Ashes Ascendancy. I'm having a great time with it. It's sort of the reboot of the Ashes card battler if you're coming in completely blind. But if you want a little bit more of an upfront explanation of what's going on, I'd recommend you check out the other video on the channel that I've already published of this one. And hey, hit the like button, subscribe button while you're down there. That would be awesome too. So let's talk about Issa Brightmore and her Artifice magic and the first 5 that I've chosen, and we'll get going. So Issa Brightmore is the Phoenix-born of Emeridia. She uses Artifice magic, which is the other new die type in the Ashes Ascendancy starter box. Its dice power effect is with the power symbol, so the B, and a side action. You just place this on a card you control. A card with the Artifice dice on it is considered to be charged. That's it. It doesn't do anything. So obviously all of the powers are going to come from the cards that interact with being charged. It's funny because this one in particular, like, it's hard to imagine building multicolored decks, color for lack of a better word, but multiple magic types. Like, I think a lot of Ashes decks, if you look at like Ashes DB, whatever, the online deck builder for Ashes, a lot of the starter decks even, they are like 5 and 5 dice each of 2 different magic types. They're rarely kind of all one, but this one is going to be so like insulated where your cards care about being charged. Only these dice can do that. Any other dice that you try to build this deck with, like, they just won't offer you that. And so I feel like Artifice might be like a monocolor type really often, just because it uses this new charged keyword that really only plays within its own little bubble, and I don't see a lot of splashing. I could be wrong. I'm not a big deck builder. In fact, I'm a big net decker and starter deck player. But yeah, I'd be very curious how that shakes out, because I'm not seeing a lot of kind of routes to splash other colors. But you know, let me know in the comments why I'm wrong. So her inspiration ability as a side action, and using the magic face, the class face rather, of the dice, which is a gear in this case, draw 2 cards and place an Artifice die from your exhausted pool onto a card you control. So it's a way to get, without a power face, a way to get a die on a card you control. Drawing 2 cards is nice too. And then my first 5, I have 2 summon spells. One is Summon Spark Drone. It just takes 1 gear die. It's almost as a little cute little bee with unit guard. This unit may guard a unit that is being attacked, and 2 life. 0 attack, 0 recover. So it doesn't have much going for it, but there is this alteration spell, Thunder Suit, which attaches to a unit and gives it +2 attack, +2 life, +1 recover, and a die on the attached unit from your exhausted pool. So suddenly you can put a Spark Drone into one of these things and it's a 2 attack, 4 life, 1 recover monstrosity. So that's a lot of fun. And then speaking of monstrosities, I'm also running Summon Thunderhulk in my opening hand, my other conjuration spell. It summons these giant golems. They have 3 attack, 3 life, no recover, and they say dormant. This unit cannot attack unless it is charged. So this one actually uses the Artifice dice as a disadvantageous ability, right? It has to be there, otherwise it can't attack. And it has Overkill 1. After it destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, deal 1 damage to that opponent's Phoenixborn. So gets a little bit of like trample damage through. Yeah, it's a weird one because you gotta get it charged up. You have to find a way to do that. It doesn't do it itself. I'm also packing the Core Supplier, an ally that costs 2 dice. It's a 2/2/1 with Supply 2. When this unit comes into play, place up to 2 Artifice dice from your exhausted pool onto cards you control. So suddenly this can charge the units and things that I have in play. By the way, I forgot on the Summon Spark Drone. It actually says it summons the Spark Drone Conjuration, and if this spell is charged, you get to set 2 dice in your active pool to a side of your choice. So unlike the Astral Magic that sort of was similar in a lot of ways where you were putting dice on your cards, they had the inherent effect of preventing a damage, but also your cards cared about, like, is your Phoenixborn, does it have an Astral die on it, that type of thing. Those ones could not, I think could not, and definitely never cared about going on to ready spells. That's not the case with the Artifice dice. You'll want to charge your ready spells sometimes for extra effects. And then I'm also packing Brilliant Display, her Issa's signature spell, which says resolve the following once for each Artifice die on cards you control. Deal 1 damage to target unit and opponent controls. So this can just deal like 2, 3, 4 damage spread out among the enemy aspects as I choose, or as I see fit. I don't usually lean towards having action spells, the ones that go to your discard pile in my opening hand, but I think that card's just incredible. Kind of like the 4 damage one from the Aaron Frost Peak deck. I think I just want to play that card as many times as I can over the course of the game. So one way to do that is to put it in my opening hand. Okay. Let's do this. Issa has 18 health, trying to race down the Dragonborn who is at 30, and I am again playing on Heroic. So that's what this +1 token is here. That gives her 1 threat for a total of 5 threat, because I found that the standard difficulty for this Dragonborn was pretty easy, actually. Okay, so it starts with my turn. I want to get summoning stuff ASAP. Have some units for these aspects that are going to start arriving. So I'll play as my main action, Summon Thunderhulk. And this can place a Thunderhulk Conjuration. Is that it? Do I have a side action? Oh, I haven't. It didn't matter because this doesn't cost dice. I got to roll my dice. Huh, minor detail. Let's see what I have to work with. Ooh, not a great roll. Just 1 power, 5 class, 4 basic. Pretty bad roll. Okay. So, I guess that doesn't change anything at the moment. All right, a little bit of a slow start. Skaith's turn. I'm gonna roll for her behavior. A crown says activate the Dragonborn's ready spell that lowers one of my dice a level. Great. Okay. And then reveal Radiant Flash. When this unit comes into play, the target opposing player must lower 1 power die in their active pool 2 levels. So that takes my only power die, bumps it down to basic. And it has 2 attack, 1 life, 1 blood. Okay, it's back to my turn, huh? I think I'm gonna want to get my Thunderhulk summoned. The worst case scenario is that this flips and just trades with it, but I guess that's not the worst scenario anyway. Okay, I will do it. I'm going to spend 2 dice, exhaust my spell to summon a Thunderhulk. 3 life, 3 attack, recover 0. It cannot attack unless it's charged. So I have a way to charge it as a side action with Issa Brightmore, but I don't want to charge it just for it to die. if this aspect like appears and attacks it and trades with it. So I think I'm gonna wait on doing that, and I'm gonna use my side action to meditate. I need more fuel than this has given me. I maybe don't need very many basic power dice though. I'm not really seeing that icon on any of my cards currently. So I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to meditate for 2. And I will go up to the power tier because why not? Okay, so that'll be 2 cards on the top of my deck. Oof, there went to Brilliant Display. That card is great. Oh well. Okay, I'll pass the turn to Skatha. And she is going to do her crown ability again, which is activate her ready spell. Yeah, I guess because I don't need the bees that much, I'll just bump one down to a gear. And she'll reveal Dragon Rage. When this unit is declared as an attacker, place a status token on the Dragonborn. It's not attacking now, though. Okay, it's pretty annoying, but it's not going to attack anytime soon, right? Because if she gets the behavior that is attack if able, it would be her leftmost one, the Radiant Flash. So I don't have to worry about that terribly soon. Okay, so I think I am going to try to start getting things charged. So why don't I'm gonna play a Summon Spark Drone this turn, because then I can play a Core Supplier next turn and have these 2 things be what it charges. So that's my main action. Do I have a side? It kind of feels bad not taking a side action. You know, I will go ahead, use the side action to draw 2 cards, because that would expand my options some. Supercharge, ready spell. Okay, this is great. I'm glad I have one of these. Draw 2 cards and place an Artifice die from my exhausted pool on a card I control. So I will, I'll go ahead and charge the Summon Spark Drone with that. Okay, I will pass the turn back to Skatha again. She rolls the basic face, which says attack if able, if not reveal. So Radiant Flash is going to attack my face for 2 damage unless I want to guard with my Thunder Hulk, which I could do. But it wouldn't get its overkill. I kind of want to put the Thunder Hulk into a Thunder Suit, actually. And then let it take out the Dragon Rage and survive? That would be pretty cool. Maybe I'm getting too greedy, though. All right, I'll let it attack me. It'll exhaust, it'll deal 2 wounds to me. 2 out of 18, I can survive that. And yeah, now I can just kind of trade something small into it since it's exhausted. That's the idea, I think. This is not going as smoothly as the Astral Magic deck so far. I'm definitely feeling like I'm struggling to get my board built up. Okay, so the Brilliant Display, that card that sprinkles out a lot of damage, it is a main action, whereas the 4 damage spell from Aaron Frostpeak was a side action. So that's a little sad. How am I going to do this? I think I do want to get a Spark Drone in a Thunder Suit. So I will use Summon Spark Drone and 1 die to place a Spark Drone Conjuration onto the battlefield. If this spell is charged, change 2 dice in your active pool to a side of your choice. So I will take 2 basics and make them power. Why not? And that Spark Drone is just a 0/2/0 unit guard. The Thunder Hulk may end up getting attacked by this Dragon Rage. I guess it is what it is. I'm still not charging it quite yet. I will spend a die and play a ready spell Supercharge with my side action. And this says side action and exhaust this to say, if this spell is charged, add 2 to the attack value of a target unit for the remainder of the turn. That's another way to use the Spark Drones, since they have 0 attack naturally. So yeah, I will pass the turn back to Skatha, who will roll a Crown, activate the ready spell, that bumps one of my dice down a level, and then reveal Rapid Flight. It's 2 attack, 1 life, and when this is attacking, it deals its damage before units in battle with it. It's an annoying one for sure, but we're starting to get to a point where I could try to play Brilliant Display and sprinkle out a bunch of damage onto these things, which would feel nice. To that end, I'm going to play Core Supplier. Gonna cost me 2 dice. It's a 2/2/1 with Supply 2. I can put 2 Artifice dice from my exhausted pool onto cards I control. So I will put it onto Thunderhulk and Supercharge. So those things are both charged. I think I have no side action this turn, unless I want to play a second copy of Supercharge. But I think I want those dice for my Brilliant Display and Thundersuit. So I will not do that. I'll pass the turn back to Skatha and see what happens. She rolled a crown. She's almost charged up her ability, which deals 1 damage to my leftmost unit. Not ideal. She also activated her ready spell again, lowering 1 of my dice again, and then reveals Bird Hunter, 3/3/2 with Overkill 1. That's that same effect that I have. But it does 1 damage to me if it destroys 1 of my units by attacking. Okay, so I have kind of a lot of lines here. I could play Brilliant Display. I could even charge 1 more card just so that it does 4 damage. But I'm not sure that feels that important. I think here's what I'm gonna do. I will play, because I think I want this Rapid Flight off the board before it attacks. Well, I have time before then. Okay, let me do this. I will play Thundersuit. It is an alteration spell. When attaching this spell, place an Artifice die from your exhausted pool onto the attached unit and give it 2 attack, 2 life, 1 recover. I kind of actually like doing this on my Core Supplier. Then it has 2 recover, which feels great, and a total of 4 life, 4 attack. I swear I'm going to take on some of these aspects eventually. I've done nothing, I guess, but set up a board. It's kind of insane compared to my game with the Astral Magic deck where I was just knocking down the aspects like as soon as they revealed as much as I could. This time she's about to have all 5 in play. We'll see how it goes for me. I'm going to pass the turn back to Skatha. She will roll a crown yet again, which will activate her ready spell yet again, bumping down my last die, and reveal Radiant Flash. When this unit comes into play, this is actually very annoying. When this unit comes into play, target opposing player must lower 1 power die in their active pool 2 levels. If they cannot, place a status token on the Dragonborn. I can't. I don't have a power die, and so she gets a status token, which means on her next turn, she's going to zap my Thunderhulk for 1, and also she gets a status token because her behavior dice were all charged up. So she's going to do that on her next 2 turns. Thunderhulk has 3 life, but if I want to keep it alive, I want to kind of have it attack into an exhausted unit if I can figure that out. Okay. Here's the incredible news, though. It's my turn. That's incredible news right there. But even more incredible, it's my turn and I have 4 Artifice dice out there. It's a great time to play Brilliant Display. So I'm going to spend my last die. Resolve the following effect once for each Artifice die on cards you control. There are 4 of them. So I'm going to deal 4 damage divided as I choose between these cards. And these 3, the 1 blood ones, all have 1 life each. So I'm just, even though 1's exhausted, I'll just go ahead, take out all 3 of those. So that's 3 for 1. 1 card for 3 enemy aspects. It feels pretty good. And they each had 1 blood, so that's 3 damage through to the Dragonborn. That was my main action. I'm out of dice. I don't have any side actions that look interesting, so I will pass the turn back to her. She's not rolling behavior dice anymore. She is going to spend a status token to deal 1 wound to my leftmost unit, Thunderhulk. And then she's just going to attack with Dragon Rage. So this, unless I block it with my Phoenixborn, this wants to attack my leftmost unit. That's my Thunderhulk. I guess that's okay, especially now that it has a wound on it. I think I'm all right with just trading it here. I'm not utilizing its overkill, but what can you do, I guess? Okay, so it will get attacked, it will counter, and they both die. So Dragon Rage is defeated. That's another 2 wounds going through to the boss, so she's at 5. And it's back to my turn. The Bird Hunter is going to attack if it's still up this turn, but my Core Supplier can do something about that. So Core Supplier is just a 4/4/2. So yeah, why not just have the Core Supplier attack the Bird Hunter? It's going to take 3 damage in return and defeat it. That was 2 blood, so 2 wounds to the boss. And that's my turn. She is going to, at the start of her turn, use her ability one more time. Poach is the name of that ability, by the way. It's going to wound my now leftmost unit, which is this Spark Drone. I can live with that. And then I just have a little bit left to do before I start passing this round as well. Supercharge says, if this spell is charged, exhaust it, add 2 to the attack value of a target unit for the remainder of the turn. So Supercharge will buff my Spark Drone, giving it 2 attack, and then it will attack Skatha. So, it would have been an interesting idea to have the Spark Drone, which has unit guard, have it guard and have saved the Thunderhulk to then attack. Maybe I should have done that. That's okay. Spark Drone will attack her for 2. That's 2 more damage going through. 9 out of 30 damage on her. Managed to clear her board and stick some things to mine. That seems like a pretty good first round in the end. Okay, so she's eternally passing. I will finally pass as well. And so we go to the recovery phase. Units recover. This Core Supplier has 2 recover, so 2 wounds come off of it. Spark Drone has none. Remove exhaustion. Let's clear these. These are the nice, you can hear them clicking probably if I hold them up to a microphone. Nice acrylic tokens that I got through the Kickstarter. I don't know if Plaid Hat is now selling them directly from the website, but they are very nice. And then I must exhaust all my dice. I don't actually get to leave them charged, unfortunately. Okay, we go to the Dragon phase. This is the new phase where the Dragonborn kind of does her recovery phase type stuff. First, she cleanses. If I had had any of my components on her side of the board, my cards, my dice, or anything, she would wipe them away. She gains status. If she had any aspects left in play, she would gain status tokens fueling her ability. Then she replenishes her aspects. So that's going to be 5 more cards dealt face down. Oh boy, 3 of them are 2 blood, so should be slightly more challenging round. And then she progresses her ready spell. So her progress ability says, deal 1 damage to all opposing players' units. Remove this ready spell from the game, progressing to ready spell 2. So that is going to knock out my Spark Drone. Sadly, but I expected that. 2nd wound on my Core Supplier, who survives thanks to recovering in between. And that's gonna bring us back to the top of the round. I am going to pass the first turn marker to her, sadly, and roll all my dice. Wow, very similar roll to last time. Only 1 power, but I did get a lot of the class dice, 7 of the mid-tier dice. And the ready spell changed, so she's going to be dealing damage to me, which is not great, but not lowering my dice anymore, so maybe I can kind of make those last. We will see. And then I'm just trying to decide, so the remaining card in my hand is another Supercharge. How much do I care about a 2nd copy of that, allowing me to, if they were both, they would have to both be charged in order to buff a unit? I don't think I care all that much about that. Having to charge them both, spend a die to play it, all that stuff. It doesn't seem like a high priority. Plus, who knows, maybe I'll find the 3rd copy in my deck. So I'm gonna discard that to draw a full 5 cards. Ooh, we got some recharges, which is a action spell that discards that says remove an exhaustion token and 2 wound tokens from a charged card you control. That could let me use my core supplier many times, which is pretty sweet. And the barrier also, you may play the spell after a charged card you control is dealt damage. Prevent 3 damage from being received. Another great card. Actually, I have 2 copies of each of those. All right. We'll see how this goes. Skatha's going to go first this round. She rolls her basic face, attack if able, if not reveal. Okay, she reveals Dragon Rage. This is the one that when it's declared as an attacker, it places a status token on the Dragonborn. Okay. I am going to... So I could... Oh, I don't have quite enough. Okay, I need more bees. All these cards use bees. So I would like to take that out, but I don't have a good way to do it. Okay, here's the thing I can do. I'm going to take out that Dragon Rage, I think, because then I can recharge the core supplier later. So I'm going to go ahead and use Issa Brightmore's Inspiration to, it's a side action. Spend this die, draw 2 cards, which also might be handy. Another Thundersuit, and a Systems Drafter, which is a new card we haven't seen yet this game. Both interesting, okay. Place an Artifice die from your exhausted pool onto a card you control. So I am charging the core supplier back up. And then as my main action, the core supplier, which is a 4/4 in its Thundersuit, will attack the Dragon Rage. I may have forgotten this last round. This is the #1 most forgettable thing for me is checking whether the boss guards. I think did I attack one? I took 3 of them out with a spell. One of them I took out by countering. I think I attacked once and should have rolled to see if she guarded. All right, it's too far in the past. I'm not going to go back, but I'll try to do better. Anyway, so core supplier is attacking Dragon Rage, and I am going to roll and see whether Skatha guards for it. She does, rolling the basic, which means she is going to intercept this 4 damage. That wasn't really what I had in mind. I was hoping Dragon Rage would take the hit and I could use Barrier to prevent the damage to the core supplier. So that didn't go as planned, but 4 damage to the boss is not nothing. That takes her from 9 to 13. And that exhausts the core supplier. Okay, well I can still recharge to get that core supplier back up and active, assuming it survives her turn, which is now. So her behavior will be a crown, activate the Dragonborn's ready spell, reveal. Ready spell is deal 1 damage to the opposing player's choice of their rightmost unit or Phoenixborn. So recharge only removes 2 wound tokens. I don't really want my core supplier to get more than that, so I'll go ahead and choose my Phoenixborn this time. And then reveal. Radiant Flash. When this comes into play, lower a power die 2 levels. Sure, yeah, I'm going to probably have to meditate. Oh yeah, now I can't even play Barrier or recharge. Woof. Okay. That's going to be it. It's my turn again. And I think I want to meditate right now. So I will meditate 3 times. Let's just get all my basic dice up to Bs, I think. Okay. Reconfigure I would really like to get in play. This lets me move my Artifice dice around, and it's a ready spell. Really key to just having things charged when you need them to be charged. But okay, we got 3 Bs now. That was my side action. My main action is going to be to play recharge. Costs me a B. I have to discard a card from my hand as an additional cost. It'll be an extra summon Thunderhulk. Remove 1 exhaustion token and 2 wound tokens from a charged card you control. So that is going to... That's interesting that can actually also target my Phoenixborn if she's charged, can't it? I hadn't thought about that. But for now, that's just going to fully heal my giant suited core supplier. Seems good. That's my turn. Pass it back to her. A crown. Activate the ready spell again. So damage to the core supplier. I'm going to take it to my face again. And then reveal Seer. This one has 2 status on it, and the ability at the start of the Dragonborn's turn, remove a status token from this unit to deal 1 damage to the opposing player's Phoenixborn. So it pings me a couple times. That's going to start adding up, so maybe I want to attack my core supplier into that. As a 3/2 though, it's also great to take out with something like a thunder-suited Spark Drone, right? Something that's like it becomes a 2/4. Like that's, I wish that I had a way oh, wait, I do have a way. Right, the barrier, that was the whole plan. I wanted to attack the Dragon Rage with my core supplier. It has 4 attacks, so preventing 3 of it with the barrier is really clutch to keeping this core supplier alive. Would it keep it alive? I'm looking at the progress ability at the end of this round is going to deal 3 damage to my leftmost unit. So if it would recover before that. Yeah. So as long as its damage is 2 or less. Okay, I think I'm going to do that with my main action this turn. I'm going to try again to attack the Dragon Rage with my core supplier. So exhaust it. I'm going to roll the behavior die to see if Skatha blocks. She does not. And so that will take out the Dragon Rage. That is going to put her up to 15 wounds, which is starting to get to where if I can just build up a board, I can try to finish her off, but I'm a ways off still. And then that dealt 4 damage to my core supplier, but I'm going to spend a B to play Barrier. You may play the spell after a charge card you control is dealt damage. Prevent 3 damage from being received. So only 1 comes through the core supplier. So it's hanging on. And that was my main action. I haven't done a side yet, right? But I don't think I see one. I don't think I have a side action. Okay, so start of her turn, Seer is going to use its ability and hit my face, putting me up to 5 out of 18 wounds. I still have plenty of health left, so maybe I won't stress too much about that. And she's going to roll a behavior die. Dragon, reveal an attack with the revealed aspect if able. Woof. And it's a Dragon Rage. Ouch. Okay. Okay, so this is going to attack. It wants to attack my core supplier. Geez, do I take it with my Phoenixborn to keep my core supplier alive? Because I can recharge this yet again, which seems super good. Or do I let it attack my core supplier? I could either barrier it to keep it alive. Yeah, actually, sure, because then I could recharge it yet again, right? I'm just gonna, this is not easy. I think the Astral deck must be better because this is feeling significantly harder. Do I take it to my face, 4 damage? Yes, I think I need to, because it's also going to charge up her ability, and that's going to pay a 2nd point of damage on my core supplier, and then when I recharge it, that will be removed. Okay, so I am going to jump in and take 4 damage to the face. Ow, 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 ow. Dragon Rage is exhausted at least, and it does put a status on Skatha, and she's about to get another one. Woof. Okay, it's my turn. So I kind of think I need to, well, no, I want to let that core supplier get pinged, and so that for kind of maximum healing when I recharge again. So what am I going to do? I think it's time to summon a Thunderhulk. Yeah, I don't have a good way to charge things at this point, other than, I guess, using bees. Actually, sure. So why don't I do that? To that end, I will, as my side action, I'm going to use the Dice Power effect and put a charge on Summon Spark Drone. And for my main action, I will summon a Spark Drone. And this says, if Summon Spark Drone was charged, change 2 dice in my active pool to the face of my choice. So I'll get 2 more bees. Yeah. That'll be fine. Okay, pass the turn to her. She's going to poach, hitting my leftmost unit. The core supplier takes a wound. Seer is also going to go off, hitting my face, putting me at 10 out of 18. And then she's going to roll a behavior die. She also gains a status if this is a non-basic. It is. Okay, so she fills up her row, gains a status token for next turn, and what was it? It was a crown, right? Activate the Dragonborn's ready spell. Deal a damage to my choice of my rightmost unit or my Phoenixborn. Since my Spark Drone is kind of a tank anyway, I'll deal it to the Spark Drone. Phoenixborn is taking too much. And then she reveals Rapid Flight. 2/1 Quick Strike. When this is attacking, it deals its damage before units in battle with it. Okay. So what's my plan here? I could suit up the Spark Drone, but I kind of wanted to maybe just take out Seer, the biggest attacker left on the board. And no, you know what? For my main action, I think I gotta keep the core supplier train going, right? Man. No, I'm just gonna take out. I've got a lot of decisions here. You know what? Seer and Rapid Flight both want to attack my rightmost side, so I want something on the right that could probably just block and trade. So I'm going to summon a Thunderhulk this turn. It's going to cost me 2 dice. Thunderhulk, this is dormant unless it's charged, but I've got some options for that. That was my main. From my side, nothing, I think. Okay, back to her. She's just going to attack with Radiant Flash. This is to attack. It wants to go at my face. I think I let it. Spark Drone could, well, yeah, anything could block, huh? But no, I'll take the 2 wounds to face. I just have to start watching out on that face damage. But now this is easy to take out. Okay. It's my turn. I think, Thunderhulk should just get into a Thunder suit. Why not, right? Why not? Yeah, and then I have some options for my final recharge. Which of these I want to recharge? Because Thunder Suit gives it +2, +2, +1, and puts an exhausted die onto it. So Thunderhulk is now charged. And that was my main action. My side, I think, is again nothing. So I will pass the turn back to the boss. I think I forgot last time. Shouldn't be too big a deal. She spent her status token to put a 3rd out of 4 damage on my core supplier. So now I have to recharge that, or the ready spell would finish it off. All right, Seer is going to attack. It wants to attack my rightmost unit. So I can either unit guard with my Spark Drone, or just take it. I think I want to get this thing actually overkilling. So I'm going to unit guard with my Spark Drone. Spark Drone will block the Seer. Seer is exhausted. Back to my turn. Okay. Oh, summon Spark Drone is exhausted, huh, from summoning that one. All right. I have 1 die left, and it basically needs to recharge my core supplier. So let's just do that. Let's get this big stuff off the table. She might have some of this left this round. Okay, I will play Recharge. It's going to cost my last die. I'm going to have to discard a card from my hand. It'll be my Systems Drafter, I guess. And it's going to remove the exhaustion token and 2 wounds again from my core supplier. That was a main action, though. I don't have a side. So I will pass the turn back to her. Rapid Flight is going to attack. It attacks my rightmost unit, so it'll attack the Thunderhulk. It deals its damage first, and then do I want to counter? I think I want to keep this to attack as big a unit as possible. I would rather that rapid flight stick around if I'm not going to be able to wipe the board this turn. So I think I just let it go. Oops, I put the wrong token on there. That should have been exhaust. Whew. Okay. She's done. She's passing for the round. I can't kill all these. I should pause, since I have a lot of attack power in play. I can't do 15 damage to Skatha, can I? 4 from the Core Supplier, 5 from the Thunderhulk is 9, 10, 11. I can supercharge. I can do 11, which is a lot. So maybe if these survive the round, which is an if. No, I think because of recovery, they both will. Maybe I can just kill her at the start of round 3. Okay, so I'm going to have the Core Supplier attack Dragon Rage. That's the thing I'm scared that's scariest. So exhaust it. I think for the 3rd time this round, it's attacking after recharging twice. It's going to deal 4 damage, which is plenty to defeat Dragon Rage. Blood 2 means 2 wounds go through to the boss. And it doesn't take any damage in return because Dragon Rage was exhausted. I will pass the turn, bring it back to myself. Oh yeah, Supercharge isn't charged anyway, so never mind. That couldn't have buffed it. Okay, so Thunderhulk, even though attacking the boss for 5 is tempting, he'll just attack Seer. That's going to defeat Seer. However, Seer is Blood 2 and Thunderhulk has Overkill 1, so 3 damage goes through to the boss. So that puts her at 20 out of 30 damage. These 2, Radiant Flash and Rapid Flight, I think are sticking around, which is not ideal, but maybe fine. Okay, I'm going to let the round end. So in the recovery phase, we recover. That's going to be the 1 from the Core Supplier, 1 from the Thunderhulk. All right, remove exhaustion. Exhaust all my dice. Can ready up my Phoenixborn. Okay. She will, remove her exhaustion also. She will cleanse. She will gain 2 status because she had 2 aspects left in play. That's not great. So she'll be using her ability her first 2 turns this round, hitting my leftmost unit. Oh, and my leftmost unit's going to be kind of in hot water. Because it's about to take 3. So she's going to replenish aspects. So, 1 blood, 1 blood, 1 blood. Oh, if I can just draw, the Brilliant Display, was it called? The thing that pings everything. Her 1 blood units almost all have 1 life. I could knock out like 3 or 4 of them in 1 spell. We will see. And then she progresses her ready spell, deal 3 damage to the leftmost unit. So that's 3 out of 4 on Core Supplier. So unless I heal that, then she will finish it off at the start of her turn with Poach. So not good. Okay, I'm going to draw 4 cards. Oh, I get to roll my dice first. This actually might inform whether I want to keep the barrier in my hand, is how many bees do I roll? 3? Okay, so I can afford barrier. Barrier is the action spell that prevents 3 damage to a charged unit. So I kind of need like a bee to charge it and a bee to play that. I probably don't want to though. So, sorry, I shouldn't have looked at my hand. Yeah, I'm going to discard that to draw 1 additional new card. And it's a recharge, so that's an option to heal it yet again. Oh man, okay. The Thunderhulk is dormant also until I charge it, so I could use a bee for that. She's at 20. What am I looking at here? My hand is a couple pretty mediocre cards. Summon Thunderhulk, summon Spark Drone. So turn passes back to me. I lead off here. At the start of her turn, I will lose my Core Supplier, which means I should use it now. I should either heal it or attack one of her aspects or her face. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this. I think I forgot at least one more time last round that she should have rolled to guard. So here's the easiest way to fix that. If she fails to guard, she gains dice on her track because she would have rolled non-basic symbols. So I'm just going to put a couple in there and call it good. I hate that I'm making that mistake, but man, it is the hardest thing to remember. And her ready spell advanced also, by the way. So now she mills the top of my deck. And if I don't or can't, I take a damage. I only have 6 cards left in my deck, so not a lot of flexibility left to meditate when that is also milling me. Okay, so core supplier. I think I want to charge and recharge it, right? Let her ability kind of ping it a couple times so it soaks that damage. It would, but it removes an exhaustion token from it, so that's a huge waste to recharge it. All right, fine. I'm just going to attack with it. I'm just going to attack with it and then let her... so she's at 10 remaining health. So there's 9 here. If I can supercharge, I can just kill her. Okay, so this is the plan. I'm going to attack Skatha with the core supplier. I'm going to keep the Thunderhulk ready. But since she doesn't have any shield aspects, none of them will guard her. So she just takes 4 damage. 4 damage to the gnome. And the core supplier, when I pass the turn, is going to go away. I think I will go ahead and draw 2 more cards. I can always use them to meditate. So I'm going to use Inspiration to put a die on a card I control. I think it's going to be... I guess it's going to be Thunderhulk so that it's charged. Annoyingly, I need to get a die on Supercharge, and I need to use its side action to buff this. So in order to get the Thunderhulk buffed to where it could finish off Skatha, it's going to be a couple more side actions. Okay. Okay, that's the turn. Oh, that does draw 2 cards. Let's see what those are. Oh, a core supplier that can charge 2 units. That's a good get. And a reconfigure, which is what lets me move my charged dice around between my cards. A little late to the party, unfortunately. Okay, I pass the turn to her. She poaches, it defeats my core supplier. This thing's been around since like the first turn of the game. It did good work. Okay, and then she'll roll a behavior die. A crown, activate her ready spell, which is going to mill a card from my deck or damage me. I guess I'll just I'll let it mill the card. And reveal. Oof, that's actually pretty rough. Aegis Feathers. When this unit is destroyed, remove an exhaustion token from the leftmost aspect on this battlefield, so it can ready and let her attack more times. But more importantly, it has this shield icon in the corner, which means it guards for her. So that ruins my plan to attack her face to finish her off. For now, I have to figure out a way to kill it. And I still don't have another copy of Brilliant Display. Man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need a little more firepower. So why don't I play a core supplier? This has supply 2. When it comes into play, place up to 2 Artifice dice from my exhausted pool on cards I control. So I will charge Summon Spark Drone and supercharge itself. So now that's active. And do I have a side action? I don't think so. So I will pass the turn back to her. She will poach 1 more time, dealing 1 damage to my Thunderhulk, and then roll a behavior die. It's crown. Activate her ready spell. It's gonna mill my deck again. And then reveal another Aegis Feathers. God, all right. I mean, on the bright side, when I defeat them, she takes damage. Blood damage. Okay. Okay. This is fine. This is going to be fine. So my core supplier, if Rapid Flight gets to attack, it's a couple turns away, but it's going to attack my rightmost unit, and it deals its damage first, so they wouldn't even trade. And I don't really want to take it to the face with Issa Brightmore because my health is getting low. So actually, I think my next priority is to suit up that core supplier, spending 2 dice, giving it, again, +2 attack, +2 life, +1 recover, and charging the unit that I put the suit on. That's my main action. I don't think I have a side, so passing the turn back to her. She has no tokens to spend, at least for now. What does she roll on her behavior dice? A crown. Well, she finished her row, so she will gain 1, can poach with this. Hitting my Thunderhulk, it has 5 total life. It shouldn't matter too much, but that's for next turn. Right now, she just reveals Rapid Flight, another 2/1 quick strike. Okay. Man, they all 5 of these have 1 life. If I could just, if I had a brilliant display, I could literally wipe all 5 of those and just win. And I don't think I've seen all 3 of them, so I think one of them is in the bottom 2 cards of my deck. That is unfortunate. I don't have a way to draw more cards though. So it is what it is. How do I want to clear these Aegis Feathers? I mean, the cleanest way is with a Spark Drone that's buffed to take out one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and summon a Spark Drone. It will exhaust this card, cost me a die, summons a Spark Drone, and since Summon Spark Drone was charged, I can change 2 dice to the face of my choice, so all the rest of mine are Bs. Do I have any reason to charge something as my side action? I don't think so. Well, the one reason is that I could barrier, but to prevent 3 damage something, but I think I'll do that with something else, most likely. Okay, pass turn back to her. She's revealed all her cards. She's just going to, well, she's going to poach, dealing a 3rd damage to my Thunderhulk. Then she's just going to start going down the line attacking. Radiant Flash attacks my face. I'm going to allow it. I'm not going to guard because actually, like, health is a resource. I only have 6 health left, but I should be near the end of the game here. Should be able to do that just fine. All right. The next one is going to quick strike my right unit. That's my Spark Drone. So I want my Spark Drone to kind of be used up by that point. So this turn, I'm going to supercharge. If this spell is charged, add 2 to the attack value of a target unit for the remainder of the turn. I'll target the Spark Drone. And then Spark Drone will attack Aegis Feathers. Because it's a defender, I'm not forgetting, she does not roll to defend it. She only tries to guard the non-defender units. So Spark Drone attacks for 2, says 1 life, it's defeated. 1 damage goes through to the boss from blood. She's at 25. And that was my side and main action. So her turn, she attacks with Rapid Flight. It attacks my rightmost unit. That's fine. I'll let it take out the Spark Drone. The Spark Drone had kind of run its course. It's exhausted. That's fine. Aegis Feathers, I don't think it's necessarily universally true of units that have that defender icon. It has no attack icons. So my understanding is that her next attack will just be Rapid Flight, kind of going down the line, skipping Aegis Feathers. My turn? Well, I just got to take out that Aegis Feathers and then go face, right, with something big. So it's kind of annoying. Well, okay, I guess I'll attack the Aegis Feathers with my Thunderhulk because that's going to overkill and deal a little extra damage to her just for good measure. So Thunderhulk will attack Aegis Feathers. She won't try to guard because, again, it's a defender. It takes 1 damage back, but it has 5 total life and defeats Aegis Feathers. 1 wound from blood and 1 from the Thunderhulk's overkill ability. 27 out of 30. I don't have a side action. Well, as a side action, I can play Reconfigure, actually, looking at it in my hand. This is what lets me, as a side action, exhaust it to move a die from one card to another. Seems all right. She is just going to attack with Rapid Flight. It's going to attack my rightmost unit. I think I'm just going to let it attack my rightmost unit, and I'm not going to counter because I need the core supplier to attack her face. And with that, it's my turn, and I can end this, right? It has 4 attack. She has 3 remaining health. She doesn't have any defender units. Core supplier can go at her face, dealing lethal damage, and closing out the game. That was a close one. That was actually maybe one of the I've been every game of this that I've played so far, which is about half a dozen since the Ascendancy box arrived. They've all been fun, but this was probably the most fun because I love winning by the skin of my teeth. And I had, 4 health left on my Phoenixborn, only 1 or 2 points of life on each of my remaining units, and she had 3 assets in play. Like, I was not doing well, but I did just well enough. Next card in my deck was Brilliant Display. This one literally could have wiped all 5 aspects for 1 die and 1 card. If only. Man, yeah, that's funny. It's funny, I was yearning to draw this card, but if I had drawn it, I probably would be sitting here thinking, oh, I kind of crushed it again, which is very funny. This was the difference between the game feeling close and not feeling close, was the fact that I had to improvise since I did not get that Brilliant Display that would have been so perfect. Oh, very funny. Well, that was great. I'm still really enjoying Ashes. I have not gotten it to the table as much as I would like, and so a lot of the Red Reigns content, the solo co-op boxes from prior to Ashes Ascendancy's kind of soft reboot, a lot of that is sitting on my shelf unplayed, so I'll definitely be back playing those in the near future. So if you enjoy Ashes or just enjoy watching a dude play card games, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Actually, it's the minority of videos where I'm solo. Usually my friends are here with me. We have a good time drinking beer, bantering, playing fun games together. So yeah, if that sounds appealing, please support us with your clicks. We have no Patreon or anything, so your clicks are all that we ask for. And that's going to be it. This is coming out in January, so Happy New Year. Hope that you have a great 2026. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, be optimal.